Hello, I'm Dr. Tom, and I'd like to welcome you to another Friday update. And what a spectacular week we're having. Sometimes people will ask me, what's in a name? And it is my distinct honor and pleasure to share with you our name, the name of our club, the Global Information Network. Three great words that have a different meaning to each of them. Global, the aspect that we have, which is truly global, and we are on every continent on this globe, if you will, on this planet. So we're able to interact and reach and teach and train and share and receive information from the entire planet. What a glorious name. To be global, to be something more than yourself, to be something more than your community or your county or your city or your state or your country or even your continent. You are in a club with people from all over the planet. People who have a similar desire and a similar need, if you will. It's like an attraction or a pulling that happens to collect this information, which is the second word in our name. The information that we have, it's really the key. It's if you break it down into a business perspective, it's the product. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's our ability to share with you, first and foremost, a success mastery course. Some of the greatest information, if you will, on the planet. It's not just a success mastery course. It's the archives of information that we have over the last 11 years that are available for you on the website, for you to learn from and listen to and watch digitally. It's the new information that we have each and every week, from a terrific Tuesday to a wellness Wednesday to a financial Friday to a member development series. You see, all of these things are information. It's maybe a new way to look at things, or a way in which to confirm your beliefs, or the way in which you learn and your ability to learn and your ability to grow and your ability to move into that desire, that dream, that need that you have for more, to become fulfilled. And we do that inside a club that is a network. It is a network of individuals that work together to make a collective consciousness that is changing the planet. We are a network and a collective consciousness of people who have a common desire and dream and wish, if you will, and chief aims, in that we share in the sharing of information globally. You see, this name works forward and it works backward in the ways in which that we can share our information so that we can enhance the lives of anyone who so desires to be a member of this club. As we've said all along, this club is not for everyone. There are people who don't think this way, who are stuck in their ruts and who have no teachability index, and they learned one thing one day and they swear that's it and there is no more growth, and that's okay. The reality is those of us in this club understand the growth of this club and understand the growth of us individually, which is the key to the Global Information Network. And speaking of global, this past weekend we had a fantastic seminar in Paris. Catherine Rossi, you and your team are spectacular, and they had a workshop and they had a river cruise on the Seine. I've done that cruise before, and it is spectacular. You are truly in one of the most beautiful cities on the planet. There's an energy in Paris. That's why we've been to Paris with Jen. That's why we go there in MHS every year for the last 25 years, with the exception of this year, because we simply are not permitted to. It is a beautiful city and has a great energy. It's like the hub. There's a buzz that happens when you go there, and there are things that you will see and feel that you will never forget so long as you shall be physically on this planet. It is an amazing opportunity, and so thank you for keeping that dream and that buzz and the network of members that we have in Europe alive over this past weekend. Of course, we had the Josh Novi and the David Kruger Midwest Retreat, which happened the week before. And again, a camaraderie happens when you get to these events, whether they're large or small. Getting together with another single Gen member will create a buzz and an energy and a feeling that you have that happens when you get inside this club and when this club gets inside of you. So again, congratulations on that. The level 5 testing online continues. More and more members are passing that test, becoming eligible for level 6, becoming eligible for level 7, which gets them on the road to level 8 being free with KT. What a tremendous bonus. The greatest gift that Jen has yet to give, level 8 for free. If you qualify, you remember, you have to be in by the end of this year. You have to be a dues-paying member by the end of 2020. You have to be level 7 by the end of 2021 to receive that in 2022. So those are some updates. Those are things that are happening. Of course, the Financial Fridays. There's another one out this week. Lee Kinney, thank you. You have given us great tips, great information, great trainings, and actually some great success stories and stock tips that have, to date, all been very great ideas and things to follow, and money has been made in each of those previous picks. So again, thank you, Lee, for your commitment and for your role as our Global Expansion Director. We're thankful to have you on this Gen team. I will also remind you that when we had our team meeting, which we do every week, this is part of what we do behind the scenes. Every week we have a team meeting, and in that meeting we talk about things that are pertinent to what's happening in the growth and the forward movement of this club. And one of those topics is an update each week about registration for Las Vegas, which is going to happen in February. And I will tell you that I'd share with you that there are some people that you must register 2 ways. You have to register with Jen, so we know you're coming, and you have to register with the hotel. We don't do that. That you do independently. You have to register with the Mirage so that they know you're coming. And when both of us know you're coming, it's going to be a great environment. We have some people, and we cross-reference that. It's part of knowing the score. It's part of our training. We actually use it inside this club. We have some people who've registered with us in Jen but have not yet made a reservation at the hotel. And we have some people who have made reservations at the hotel but not yet registered with us. So be sure and square that up so that everyone knows you're coming, and we can be prepared for you. It's about setting the rooms and setting the stage and being prepared for a win. That's our intention. And our intention was covered last week. The topic of intention was covered last week in my Friday update, and some tips on that intention, and some people who have shown me how to understand and how to project and how to accomplish attention. It's been a great learning experience. And this week I'd like to share with you some information that I've been studying this week, some online courses and some online information, if you will. And this particular section came from Damon John. You may be familiar with that name. He's one of the people on Shark Tank, like Mark Cuban is on Shark Tank. And I'd shared with you a message earlier from Mark Cuban that he had talked about, what did you learn in 2020? How did you utilize your time in 2020? It's a great question. It's a great concept, and it's a great focal point for how you're spending your time and what you're doing. Well, Damon was talking about entrepreneurship, and this topic I know is important to so many of us because many of us, most of us, are affiliated with small businesses. We either own them or work for them or are partners in them. And this is why it's important to understand the concept. When you can learn things from people who have made hundreds of millions of dollars in business or billions of dollars in business, and they're willing to share a few of their secrets, a few of their tips, a few of their little nuggets of gold, if you will, that allowed them to get where they are. Notice I use the word allowed, because this is a process. This is a learning process. You must learn how to be successful. You must learn how to do business steps, good business practices, because you just don't accidentally become a billionaire. Well, maybe you could be born into that, and there are those that say that's not an accident either. The reality is, if you're going to become successful in business, there are some things that you should pay attention to, and one of those is others who have what you seek. So, a couple of those tips. Number one was know your limitations. What a beautiful tip, and one that's overlooked by so many, because the concept and the very predisposition that we have to not being enough keeps so many people. I mean, when I say that, I mean that's the number one holdback that people share with us in our live events worldwide. It's some form of, I'm not enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not old enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not fast enough, I'm not short enough, I'm not enough in some version. And so what that does is that has some people overcompensate for that, and they don't realize their limitations. Having a limitation meaning that maybe you have a skill set that is in one aspect of business, but you're weak in another. So it's know your strengths and know your weaknesses is the point. And hire someone whose strengths are your weaknesses. The tendency is to hire people for many startups, for many people beginning in business. They want to hire someone lesser because they feel threatened. They might take my job. They might replace me. They might take my idea and run with it. Hire people who have a strong suit where you are weak, and you will grow, and your company will grow, and your company will be better for it. Know your limitations, know your strengths. Number 2, he talked about never stop learning. What a beautiful concept, and we talk about this all the time in the Success Mastery course. Never stop learning. It's why we have different levels in Gen, and as you upgrade and as you progress through the levels of Gen, you won't stop learning because you're exposed to new material. A second piece of that is go back and review the previously learned or read or observed or watched materials, because you will be there in a new unit of time. You can learn from things you've already learned some things from. Never stop learning. The teachability aspect, one of the greatest concepts in running a business, because times change. You must adapt. We've been doing motor health system for almost 50 years, for over 45 years. In that time, things have changed. There wasn't an internet. There wasn't an ability for me to communicate like I am right now with you when that happened. So the model has to change. You must shift and adapt. You must be teachable. You must always be learning. And regardless, you see, these concepts and principles apply to your business regardless of the type of business that it is. It applies to every aspect of your business because it applies to every aspect of your life. Next, he was talking about, Damon was talking about in this interview, was talking about currently taking digital courses. I'm thinking this is a Gen concept. We are a digital company. We have a wealth of information from what I mentioned earlier. The archives that we have are literally worth millions of dollars. They're on all kinds of topics. In addition to the Success Mastery course that we have, in addition to the Terrific Tuesdays and the Wellness Wednesdays and the Financial Fridays and the Member Development Series, the information that we continue to feed into this company and the information we continue to learn and share with you are unprecedented. We're always continuing to learn. Number 3, be informed. Listen to your customers. Be informed about your niche in your business. Have interaction with your customers. Do surveys, have comments, listen to them, speak with them when they're in your business, talk to them. Ask them how you could improve. What could you do better? What do we do well, and where could we improve? So many people are afraid. They're in fear. They're so constrictive right now. They're afraid to ask, what could I do better for you? How could we better serve you? We have a support system inside Gen. It's called support@genunited.com. If we can support you in any way, send us an email. Let us know. You are not alone. We are a club of members helping members. It is our mission. It's what we do. It's what we can do with you. We're here for you. Number 4. Take care of your current customers. So often in business, people have a new idea, or they get a new marketing firm, or there's a new process, or there's something new and shiny, and they focus all of their attention on that, looking for new customers to expand their base. The reality is, support your existing customers. When you support your existing customers, they become your advertisement. Now, I'm not saying don't advertise digitally. We do all kinds of things. What I am saying is that by supporting your current customers, by keeping them happy, they share your message, they share your business, they share your intention, they share your energy and your feeling and your buzz and your field with others, consciously and subconsciously. This is how it works. This is how it works. So be sure and pay attention. This is how it works. Number 5, remove your ego. This is a concept I talked about even in the intention aspect a week ago from Wayne Dyer. You see, removing your ego is important regardless of if it's in a business conversation. Remember I said it's the same. Whatever affects your business, affects your health, affects your relationships, affects your spiritual growth. It's all related. You can't get away from any of those categories. What you can do is focus on them less. And that, my friends, makes the journey longer. The reality is when you can remove your ego, because it's not about you, when you can remove your ego from the equation, when you can begin to listen more, when you have more pause, when you can slow it down, when you can realize that you are a part of something, you're not the something, the universe doesn't revolve around just you. When you can remove your ego from the equation, you will notice a drastic shift in your business, in your relationships, in your health choices, in your spirituality, because all of these things are tied together. It's part of one of the main focuses that happen in level 7 in the training when we talk about business aspects and physical things and spiritual quests, and beginning to see how they're connected and how you can choose those paths and how you can focus on those paths at different times in your life. At different times in your life, different aspects of each of those things are more in focus or more in priority, if you say. This is how it works. Limit your activities. You say, now wait a minute, limit? Well, yes. Some people have a tendency to say yes to everything and they spread themselves too thin. You don't have to say yes to everything. You can point them in different directions for people to help them to do that. I have learned in my business experience that if you really desire to have something done, find the busiest person you can, because they know how to do things. They get things done. If you find somebody that you think, well, they're not doing anything, they have plenty of time on their hands. Well, the reason they have plenty of time on their hands is because they don't do anything. They're so busy not doing anything, they don't have time to do something. You know people like this. The point is simply stay focused. Limit yourself on what you do. Blaine and I were on a conversation this week with a referral from Peter Sage, a gentleman we were consulting with and beginning to build a relationship with. And he shared a story that I had heard before, and I know that it's true. It is a story from Richard Branson. And someone was asking Richard Branson to do something and they wanted to pay him more money. And finally they said, okay, it's a blank check. I'm gonna condense the story for the point. And finally he relayed back that said, the reason that I am saying no to this is not because I don't believe in it, or not that it's good, or not that it's enough money. That's not the issue. The issue is that it's not in line with the 3 things I'm focusing on right now. You see, that doesn't mean I'll never be able to do it, or I won't help you in the future. It's just right now, this is what I'm doing. And when I get distracted by doing other things, it distracts me from my core principles and my passion and my purpose. And then I don't win. So don't spread yourself too thin. Don't try to do too many things. You know, sometimes you do go out of balance as long as you can see an end game to it. As long as you're not going to be out of balance for years or decades. Sometimes you have to pour more energy into your business. Sometimes you have to be a jack of all trades. When you're a startup company, you have to do lots of things. And as soon as you can afford to do the things that you're really good at, and you can hire someone who's really good at the things you're not good at, your business will explode in a positive way. This is how it works. Stay focused. You see, when billionaires give you advice, I would suggest and recommend that you listen and see where it fits for you. See what areas of your life you could put more focus into. You could put more passion into. You could put more energy into. You could put more time into, because you're not distracted doing 35 other things out there that don't allow you to do what you're doing right here. Right here in your focus of your core business. And lastly, he said you must have passion. We've all known people who are very passionate about what they talk about when they talk about their business, and they get excited about it, and they'll talk forever about that. It's one thing that my father had in developing BEST was a passion where virtually every conversation ended up with some aspect of that healing technique and technology. Kevin has a passion for this type of information. It's the only way you can put together the Success Mastery course. It's that passion that you have. Those of you that are at Club 712, I mentioned this before, Blaine, when he was speaking about memory training, he had a passion and he kicked into automatic pilot about that passion of sharing a technique with Jen brothers and sisters about how this works. You've seen Dr. Ted on stage share his passion. And when he does, people just get into a zone. And when you get into that zone, you share and you download from the ethos. You're not even sure what you're saying. You're not sure where it came from. It's kind of like you'd planned it, but it's not strictly point by point by point by point by point. It's just you. It's the universe coming through to you because you have removed the blocks and you've removed the ego. You get into passion of sharing. And when you can keep that passion, the key is, first of all, to get involved in a business that you're passionate about. There are so many ways to run a business and to make money in this world. Find something you're passionate about and find a way to make money doing that, and then you have fun every day. And you have that Christmas spirit where it feels good to you. It's like that awakening that happens in the morning. It's that new relationship that you have. The same thing is true for your business. The same thing is true when you can keep that passion and not only start a business with that passion, but maintain that passion. Keep the fire burning, if you will. Keep the core burning so that you can expand it when you're ready. Those are some tips that Damon shared, and I wanted to share those with you today. I think they're spot on. The key in that last part about passion is really about the burning desire. We talk about this throughout Jen and throughout our training. This is what happens when you come to the major events. This is what happens when you connect, whether you're doing that on virtual chapter meetings, whether you're doing that in regional events, whether you're doing that with one-on-one with someone else. When you build that fire and you build those flames and you brainstorm a little bit and you bring that mastermind mentality in, this is how it all works. Like I said in the beginning, we're proud and honored you're a part of the global information network. We will do our best so that you can be your best. I hope you have a spectacular week. I'm Dr. Tom.